Good morning, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. This previous market rally was really good, mainly for Bitcoin. Mostly altcoins are still kind of out of their consolidation, but not as much as doing as much as Bitcoin, for example, that went from all the way from 40,000 to 60,000. And we're going to see that specifically in this live stream. We're going to analyze the entire cryptocurrency market and see where we have opportunities to enter the cryptocurrency market. Of course, like trade setups, where to place our stop losses, where we can take profits, or where we can keep our positions open. Of course, taking into consideration a stop loss exit. My name is Rudy Ferris, and I'm a senior editor and crypto analysis trader. And what we're going to do today is tackle like most of the top cryptocurrencies in the market. And as usual, we're going to first look at the macro level of the cryptocurrency market. So we go mainly to an aggregator where we can see each cryptocurrency, how it's doing. I usually use CoinMarketCap for this thing. And if I go to CoinMarketCap, as I just saw today on a Sunday, usually things are a bit slower. So you can see that the market is kind of minus 1% on an aggregate level. Bitcoin is minus 1%. Everything is mostly minus one or plus one. We have Solana plus 3. Nothing major. If I go to the outliers, so I just can look at the ones that performed really well. We have Phantom that made 15%. We have Quant doing 6, Stacks doing 5, Aave doing 4, and then this is where we enter like normal consolidation levels for cryptocurrencies. This is from the plus side. We have Phantom and Quant. From the negative, we have Flow, Amp, and Telcoin doing -8, -7, and -7 respectively. But at the same time, if we go over Flow, we can see how it lost in the past week. It's going downwards. While, for example, AMP, we can see that it is going upwards now. Telcoin as well made 15 to 16% gains in the past week. So having a -7% in one day is kind of understandable. So yeah, if I go back to the top 10, Bitcoin is almost at $61,000. Ethereum is eyeing its 4K level. And yesterday I did write an article about that, saying how if Ethereum manages to reach its previous all-time high, so first it should breach its psychologically priced area, which is the 4K. And after that, if it manages to breach the 4.3K, 4.4K, which is the previous all-time high, we can basically confirm a kind of like a state of reaching 5K, $5,000 per ETH. And most analysts were basically predicting Ethereum to reach $10,000. So for now, we're still a bit far, but if we manage to reach 5K, hey, things are starting to build slowly. Cardano is at $2, 2.2 now, almost. Binance Coin is at 470. Ripple is at 1.13. Like, we can see how Ripple is failing to breach the $1.2 level. It's trying to, but it's always pulling back lower due to selling pressure. The past week, it's down, for example. We can see down by 4%. And we can see a kind of consolidation in the last week, in the last couple of days, I mean. Solana is back up, and Solana, there's an interesting technical formation, and that we're going to discuss later on. Polkadot is doing really nice, up by 20% in the past week. And we have Dogecoin kind of also consolidating, like going sideways. So yeah, Let's go first with let's start with Bitcoin, and as we usually do. And what I want to do is specifically start with Bitcoin and check its technical formation. And also, as usual, I always like to start charting from scratch so you guys can have a quick understanding of how charting works. So here we are. We can notice that after reaching the previous high of $64,000, 64,700 almost, things started to deteriorate and prices sank all the way towards almost $30,000. So the first thing that I want to do is delimit my all-time high and my low after the crash, the strong support. This is my target to reach back this area, and this is my strong support where prices, if we notice right here, we have several candles. This is my daily chart, by the way. This is where prices tried to reach this area, but then directly the buying power came in and they hired the price. And then this is where prices lingered for like 2 days, and then we saw a massive buying power driving prices upwards. And then we had a stop at around $40,000. Then you can kind of see here like an important area as well, 50,000. Those coincide with psychological price areas as well. We have another one here around 58,000. I'm not going to put that though. So those are my important levels right here. And what we can see and notice that today prices are eyeing the previous all-time high. They started all the way from $40,000. And the only retracement that happened is right around this day on the 10th of October. And this is basically last week, exactly on Sunday, on our last live stream, where prices sank and reached a low of 50. And I believe that I did say that people should take notice of this price and directly buy right here and place stop losses around 48,000 in case the price, BTC prices continued lower, but we can notice that prices continued upward. And we've reached the $60,000 price mark, and we are eyeing our all-time high. Now, will prices be able to reach $64,000? Definitely yes. Definitely yes. And I say that with a grain of salt. No one can predict. But at the same time, we can see how prices are just going on a smooth uptrend with retracements every now and then. And this is, by the way, a very healthy uptrend. So yeah, I can see here that today, in the past like 4 days, between yesterday and today, prices did not do much. And this is where prices are trying to breathe before they continue upwards towards $64,000. Now, what might happen once prices reach here? This is a great question that I just asked. And most people do ask as well. So let's say prices manage to reach this area. What will happen next? We have two case scenarios, of course. This is not something very hard to predict. There's only either going upwards or downwards. But we must know when would prices go upwards and when would prices go downwards. For this specific case, for BTC, if we manage to barely reach it and consolidate briefly and prices go again lower than this price, we can say that prices did not manage to pull up really good and really nicely. We might see another consolidation, but maybe I would say around the $60,000, around the psychological price area. On the other hand, if prices manage to break it well above this area, this is another case scenario, they will adjust toward this area right here, but they should continue all the way toward the $70,000 price mark. So we notice that with Bitcoin, we are moving from psychological area from one another. And this is true for stocks, by the way. It's not only for cryptocurrencies. And the stock market as well, whenever prices, for example, they are around cents and they start to reach one or two or three, we do see like heavy volatility on those specific and volumes around those specific prices. So for Bitcoin, there's nothing much to say right here. If you want to buy today at 60, it's a bit risky, but at the same time, you need to manage your risk by placing stop losses. And if you buy at 60,000, I would definitely place my stop around 57 or 56 right here. And if you're looking for the long term, you can also have a wider stop loss around 49, 48, around here. At the same time, your take profits for the short term would be definitely the all-time high, and then the 70, and then the $80,000. This is all provided that the fundamentals in the crypto market are doing really well. So I think that we need to have like strong fundamentals versus like hearsay and government bannings and like big firms like banks or big institutions bashing cryptocurrencies. Those basically are negative connotations in the cryptocurrency market. So, sorry, this is for BTC. I'm going to move to ETH. And we can notice that ETH is kind of stuck and wants to break through outside the 4K area, higher, that is. But if we do zoom out, this is the 4 hours price chart. This is the all-time high right here. No, it was higher before, 1 second. So prices did reach this year around 4,375, $4,375. This is my all-time high. And also we can notice that ETH is in fact eyeing its all-time high. We have a strong support at 1.8. This is what I always said and talked about. We have another one at around 2.8 as well. The previous resistance became a strong support. We did manage to see, by the way, some breakouts. And this is very normal in the cryptocurrency market. And that's why we always need to take into account an area rather than a line whenever we trade. So we are directly below 4K. We did not reach that yet. What should happen is a small maybe adjustment, maybe, okay. But the 4K price should definitely be reached around here. And if 4K is reached, definitely 4.375 will be reached as well. And this is the same scenario for Bitcoin as well. We just noticed that if we do manage to reach our all-time high or the $60,000 price mark, we are definitely going to see a reach of the previous all-time high. So because Bitcoin managed to reach its psychological area of $60,000, I do see that ETH will also reach its 4K psychological area as well. And that's why most day traders are placing trades, even if it's as late as placing at 3.9, okay, and managing to reap out like 5 to 10% profits on an unleveraged position is really good as well. And because today is Sunday, I expect that later at night, we will see some volatility in the cryptocurrency market, specifically because each altcoin did reach very important levels. Either reached, like Bitcoin, either did not reach yet, like ETH, for example, right here. So I expect soon, like within those 2 days, even less maybe, worst case scenario within those 2 days, that ETH will breach the 4K area and will look to reach its previous all-time high of 4.375. So if you want to place a buy order for ETH, you would definitely have to place a stop loss at around 3.8, because currently we are at almost 3.9. So placing at 3.8 is kind of tight. Sometimes the market just breach it lower, throws you out of your position, and then continues higher. And this is mostly the frustration of all technical traders. So I might look into widening my stop loss, maybe towards 3.7, but placing my take profit a bit lower than my all-time high as well, around 4.3K. And that's for ETH. And as I always said, by the way, I've been saying since months now that ETH is still on an uptrend. And I always used to draw my parallel channel that shows how prices managed to stagnate for a while. But this old uptrend, the lower uptrend channel, is still for today. And we can see how prices managed to breach a bit, but did reach the support of 1.8. And then we have another support of 2.8, a previous resistance that became a support right here. And we are continuing higher now. Hey, Neil, glad to see you, man. I hope your crypto trading is doing well and your positions are doing fine as well. We can notice also, by the way, that as I spoke earlier, that usually it was altcoin season before, and now we are seeing that this specific moment and period is Bitcoin's season. But at the same time, we shouldn't see, because Bitcoin managed to grow from $40,000 all the way to 60,000. And because Ethereum barely made it from 3,000 to 4,000, that this is not a correct representation. We must look at the percentages in order to better assess the markets. So Ether also did a really good job to retrace from $3,000, a bit less than 3,000, all the way now almost to $4,000. And this is a really great performance for ETH as well. Like if people manage to catch the support that I was always talking about, the 1.8K before, they almost tripled, more than tripled by now their holdings. Anyway, this is for ETH, as I said. I'm going to move towards XRP because, as we noticed, as I said earlier, that XRP is kind of suffering and can't and didn't break out from its consolidation since the beginning of the month. Although we were at 90 and 88 cents, we did reach the 88 cents that we always spoke about before as well. Let me delimit this just to show it. So this is the consolidation area for Ripple. And from this area, a lot of traders managed to buy and enter buy positions, including myself, for example, because I did buy Ripple. I have, like, since 2017 XRPs of 17 and 18 cents. And I'm very happy I did that back in 2017. We did reach that specific area again back in 2020, I think, 2020, when the SEC lawsuit hit, and then everyone started to panic sell, and then the price of XRP went back to 20. This is where I stocked up even more. And today we have a price of $1, so that's like 1.17. It reached 1.17. Now we're at 1.13. Like, that's 10 times your investment, and that was really good as well. Anyway, if I want to specifically look at what's happening with Ripple, I would put first an area around 1.2, and we can see how prices tended to reverse when they reached this area. We are at 1.13 now, and it's about just a matter of time before prices reach back 1.2 and continue on to reach 1.4. 1.4 was a very delicate area for XRP, as we might see here that prices prepared around this area before they continue on to their next area. So, for example, here that was an uptrend. They consolidated for like 2 days and then continued upwards. That was a downtrend. They consolidated around 1.4 and continued lower. So right now, if prices manage to breach 1.2, 1.4 is definitely on the horizon. And it is the same thing as ETH and as BTC, by the way. So I would definitely say that this is a repeating pattern across cryptocurrencies. So this is for XRP. If you want to buy XRP right now, it's a bit of a hassle, but do place stop losses at around 1.1 maybe, exactly right here. And your take profits would be 1.2 at the first target, 1.4 at the second target. Okay, I'm back, and let's continue on with other cryptocurrencies. I'm going to look at Sol and Tron today. Now, Sol has a somewhat interesting formation. We had the $145 support. We also had a downtrend from the previous all-time high of Sol, which is 2.16. And if I do plot this downtrend, we can see today that prices are trying to break out of this downtrend. Right? If you look closer at Sol and try to plot the downtrend, we can see how prices are trying to escape this downward triangle right here. And if they manage to do that, like if we reach like a $170 price mark for Sol, definitely this is a reversal in the downtrend. And I can safely say that reaching back the previous all-time high, and I'm not gonna go towards 2.16 because that was only within one day. I'm gonna take the $190 as a price point right here. So from 165 all the way to 190, this is almost a, let me check here. This is a 15% return, and a really good one, may I say. And you can basically place your stop loss at around maybe 1.55. I'm going to say 55, 58, around this area. The risk reward ratio would be 2.65. Not bad, a bit risky, but uh, you might want to wait for prices to confirm above this white line, right, which is the side of the triangle. So yeah, I would definitely wait for prices to confirm above this white line and then maybe enter a trade for Sol, having a target of $190. And this is it for Sol. It is a great trade setup. You guys should look into it. Going to go to TRX. Now, TRX. We start by plotting the support of 8 cents, 8.2 cents. We have a resistance at around 99.3 cents that became a support right now. And then we have 10 cents area, which is right around here. And this is where we are today. We are currently right at this area. Now, what will happen to TRX if prices manage to breach it a bit higher? So I'm going to draw the path of this. If prices manage to breach right here, they will definitely adjust back to it or maybe a bit lower. But we will definitely see higher prices, and we want to reach the 11 cents target for TRX. We do want to reach around here, and I would say that prices are looking healthy for TRX, but at the same time, we are having a lot of adjustments along the way. So looking from here all the way to here, we did have many days where prices fell significantly, but then the buying pressure managed to bring prices back upwards. So we are right now right here, and we didn't see any break. Maybe we had one breach right around here, but I'm going to disregard it and just focus on what will happen around right now with this current pricing. around, which is 10 cents. If now, I think that prices are looking to reach September's valuation, 15th of September, which is right here, 12 cents. And if we do manage to reach 12 cents, this would be a great news for Tronics, because definitely this is not the end of the price, and we still have a lot of room to grow and reach the previous highs of 17 and 18 cents. So for now, baby steps. We are just getting out of the 5 cent zone, and we managed to do that in a really nice way. So from 5 all the way to 10 cents, this is great. This is like double, and then we are looking to even double another time. So for Tronics, I'm not going to say anything because this is a very important and delicate area. You can place a buy order and then place a very tight stop loss, or you might want to wait for confirmations above this area and then place your buy right there. This all depends on your strategy. I'm only talking about day trading, by the way. I'm not talking about buying and holding for the long term, because all of this would be disregarded definitely unless you reach a very hard support. So for Tronics, it would be the 8 cents. Okay, I'm going to look at Cardano now, our last token for the day. And this is Cardano's one-day chart. Cardano had a run at around $2 right here. And the area is delimited between 1.9 and $2, definitely. And then we had like a kind of a sideways trend, fluctuating between 2 and 2.3. This has been happening since the end of September. We are within this mark, but we are slightly getting higher and higher every time. So it is not, we can notice that it is an uptrend. And now what will happen is basically if prices manage to breach it a bit further low, we might reach 1.9 again. But looking at the macro level, we can definitely say that if prices are going to breach 2.3 and their previous high of 2.8 and 2.9 and even $3. So from a valuation of almost 2 to 3, this is like 2 to 3, this is like 33% increase in prices, and a good one. And this is saying that this is an unleveraged position as well. So this is my assessment for Cardano. We are still in this slightly upward triangle, and we are looking to breach it and reach almost 2.6, 2.7 as a first step. Okay, great. Now, what I would like to say is going back to the entire cryptocurrency market. We are, again, today is a Sunday. It is a kind of a slow day. Most cryptocurrencies are consolidating in anticipation of a new week ahead. And we're going to see what might happen later. Most of the cryptocurrencies are kind of adjusting after yesterday's and the day before's increase in prices. Some of them are still doing well, like Phantom, but I expect that Phantom will definitely adjust a bit lower today. And it already did, by the way, because it was up by 15 to 16%. But looking at the macro level, I think that most cryptocurrencies are going to are eyeing their previous all-time high. So until we see that, let's look at what happens in the next week. We already placed and looked at our targets, and we're going to see if we're going to be able to reach those specific areas. Until then, I wish you all a great week ahead and a great Sunday. And yeah, cheers.